Future of political parties right here in the Rio Grande Valley. From young Republicans to young Democrats and everything in between. We begin a new focus on meeting the future leaders of our community. On this installment of Inside RGV Politics, we introduce you first to the young Republicans of Hidalgo County. Here's some of the issues that matter to them.
What are some of the topics that you think are important?
I mean, I think down here, if we look at our club especially, a lot of people's main concerns has to do with border safety and immigration. And now in our group, there's people that differentiate like what that really means per se. But I know a lot of people especially in our group, are really just trying to pay more attention to that and not letting it just be like an open immigration type system. Just more protection, especially given how close we are to the border itself.
And you kind of hit on something really important. Across the nation, we hear border security. We need to enforce rules. We need to enforce all sorts of things. What exactly is border security to you?
Well, see, I know a lot of people are talking about like the wall, and like I know some people realize that that's not always the most effective way. So I just think we need necessarily more people. We need better technology to see where these people are coming from, and not so much just the other people that are coming in illegally, but like where these drugs are being smuggled in. You know, we just need more technology, better technology, and I guess some wall would be beneficial in some areas, but it's just more about just trying to put ourselves in a better position to be safer.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, what you're saying is more troops on the ground, more people watching, and more technology.
Right.
Overall.
Right. You know, like those drones. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no reason why we can't put a little bit more money into that. You know, especially that kind of technology down here.
What other issues do you think are fairly important right now? Well,
I think down here, when you look at our group specifically, when you look at people that want to be, or not want to be, but that are conservative, it's more about also being able to have a different groupthink than we see a lot down here, just because it tends to be very blue-based here. And so I think a lot of people don't necessarily like the way certain things are headed, and so they come to us with an open mind, and they try to, you know, see why we think about things certain ways and why we explain them that way. And I think anything that just allows them to be more open-minded when it comes to things like that helps a lot, to be honest with you.
Typically, what does your club discuss when it comes to politics and affairs?
So we meet about twice a month, and every time we meet, we talk about trending topics mostly. And then, so since we range from the right scale, some are more moderate, some are more a little bit right-leaning, and so we just have debates on all the trending topics. You know, the impeachment proceedings. I remember when the Supreme Court nominations were up, we had those conversations as well. So I mean, some of those conversations can be very, it's always with respect, right? But sometimes they can be a little intense, but you know, because we're dealing with people's beliefs. But at the same time, there's a huge level of respect there, and you know, we listen to them, they listen to us, and sometimes we find common ground. But it's all about trying to find that common ground, and I think a lot of people are just trying to ignore that these days.
Especially right here in the valley. There's more blue than there is red. How do you feel being part of a group that is
right. I mean, I feel fine, you know, because I know what I believe in, but at the same time, I see some of these other members, and I know it's tough on them, especially because sometimes they're the only members of their family. They feel like in their community that they're being, you know, looked down upon. For example, like sometimes we'll put up flyers at RGV, and people will like throw them down or write stuff on them, and so, you know, I do know that it takes a toll on them because, you know, let's be honest, a lot of people have friends and family, and they just don't agree with, you know, and so that could be very tough on someone.
The impeachment, a very hot topic right here in Washington. What is the take, or what is some of the sentiment that you guys have so far?
Well, you know, I know it's a very common thing to hear, but it does sound like, you know, they're giving him a win. And so we're somewhat grateful. We're interested in seeing how it plays out, to be honest with you, what information comes out. But I think most people in the base are excited because, you know, I think they think, and we think, that they'll probably give them a win, you know. So we'll see how it plays out.
Do you think this talks of impeachment actually fortifies the Republican Party, especially within?
Oh, I do. Without doubt, I think it does, because it feels like they're coming for one of us in a weird way. Because if you look at when they've been trying, I mean, there've been impeachment talks since he was elected, you know. So if it's not one subject, it's another. So at some point, you know, it just feels like it's just at a constant attack, and so we constantly feel like we have to defend ourselves just because we feel like we're constantly being attacked. And I think that does, you know, rivet everybody up, and just because it feels like one of their own is being under.
At times, do you guys find any disagreement with the party or the president?
Oh, of course.
Well?
I mean, there's always going to be disagreements when you're dealing. Nobody's going to believe the exact same thing. You know, I know one of the trending topics right now that had certain discords among the group was the pulling out of Syria, whether that was a good idea or not. A lot of us believed it wasn't. Some believed it was, and so there was a lot of back and forth. So, you know, people don't understand. Even though we support this president, we still have the right in this country to, you know, criticize our leaders when we think they're wrong. And so I think that's very important to note. And so we do when we think he's wrong.
For the next installment, we'll be reaching out to young Democrats to see the issues that matter the most to them. Thank you for joining us. If you missed part of today's episode or would like to learn more about Inside RGV Politics, check out our website. That's kveo.com. I'm your host, Alfredo Cuadros. Have a wonderful day.